Hello, and welcome to
Socially Unsocial. I'm Patti.
And I'm Danielle.
And we are your hosts.
We are your hosts. Happy almost end of January.
Thank the good Lord. It's almost the end of January. We made it.
Do you think we're like turning the page on like brutal coldness and we're just kind of coast for the rest of winter in like the 30s?
Listen, even the actual weathermen have no fucking idea, so don't ask me. I have no idea.
You know what's funny?
What is funny without laughing?
You usually are very positive, and lately you have been a little bit negative. Like the other day she texted me and she was kind of being a Debbie Downer, and she apologized for being a Debbie Downer, and I said, I need a little bit more positive Patti out of you. So I don't know what happened to you in 2025, but go back 2024, grab positive Patti and bring her into 2025.
I know, right? It's hard, the ups and downs. Like, I got back from Disney. That's what happened. Okay,
so what, you need like 60 days to reset?
I need at least 5 to 10 business days until I recoup. Okay,
we're, I think, past that mark.
Oh, then no excuse. I don't know then.
It's okay. I will forgive you. I will give you a pass.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not wearing my little Ray of Pitch Black sweatshirt.
Oh, so I didn't know.
I almost grabbed it. I almost grabbed it, just to warn you. But no.
So you're more like gray today. Not black, but not quite yellow.
I know. Are we doing colors? Like,
maybe.
What's my color of the day? I remember one time I went to a psychic. I will never forget this. I was like in high school, and I walked in a pink tie-dye shirt, which I liked, and gray sweatpants. And then I sat down and she's like, you are very confused in your, love life right now. And I was thinking, I mean, what teen isn't? So I was like, oh, you know me so well. And I was like, why? How'd you know that? And she was like, well, because you're wearing pink and gray, and pink is love, but gray is confusion. And now it's all just mixed together. And let's get into your, psychic session. And I was like, yes, let me take notes. Let me do the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker. But I always think of that. If I'm going to put on pink, I don't wear gray with it.
Interesting.
It's funny like how things stick with you.
It is. And I guess what we wear is a reflection of our mood, but how unconsciously does it go?
Yeah, like if you're feeling confident and sexy and you're going out for the night, you're going to wear a completely different outfit than if you are in a bad mood.
But don't you think that if you were in a bad mood, you want to make yourself feel better? By looking better?
All I would do if I'm in a bad mood and I want to feel better, I'm going to high five myself in the mirror.
I did that this morning.
I'm trying to be positive with you, okay?
It was so good because I did it and then I laughed at myself and it was just like, and it was almost like I looked around to see, like, is anyone watching me?
Did anybody just see me high five myself?
And are they like, you're cool?
This is like, what is wrong with that girl? No, they're probably, if they were to see it, which of course they don't, unless you have like peeping Toms, but nobody saw it and it was just for you.
It was
just a pep talk, just for you and you.
But I needed to share that because I know how not cool you are with the whole smiling at yourself in the mirror, giving yourself a high five. So I like the way it set up my day. So I think I will try to implement that more.
I think you should. And I think I will too. I'll put a Post-it on your mirror
to remind yourself.
High five yourself. Good morning.
You should have your kids do it too. And see if it changes their day. Little experiment.
I will do that. Okay. That's cool. Might as well. Let's do all the things.
Yeah.
There's no holding back. Let's go.
So guys, we are less than 30 days from our live event, Better with a Bestie.
I am so excited. Not only are we going to be there, but all of our friends, all of our listeners, invite your friends. We're all going to be there. And the best part for me is that we decided to make this a fundraising event for mental health. And I'm like so pumped about that. I just feel like this is going to be such a beautiful community event. We're showcasing businesses and vendors. And I'm going to let Danielle talk about that because literally she has been, I don't even know, the image in my head is just like a train on the wheels with like sparks coming out. She is like full steam ahead. Full steam ahead, Danielle. I can't even like keep up in my texts. She's constantly on the next thing. So I'm sure if you're listening, you've probably heard from her talking about this already via text, email, calls, whatever. Let's see,
shouting
Danielle.
from the rooftop. No, I just want to say quick thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who's purchased their tickets. You have already secured your swag bag. We are giving a swag bag to the first 50 people. So please sign up in advance so you can make sure that you reserve your spot. We also want to say a huge shout out to the people who have given us gift cards and raffle baskets because we want to do as much as we can to raise enough money. So we have gift cards from I Smell Bacon in Hoffman Estates. If you haven't been there, go check out their barbecue. And if you saw me on social media, I'm obsessed with their fried potato salad. So go check it out. A Late Night Hair in Schaumburg. They were super generous. First Place Sports Bar is giving us a gift card as well. And fun fact, that's where me and Patty's friendship started to bloom.
We love that bar.
Yeah.
First Place, shout out. That's where everything started.
It did. It was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. It didn't sound really great. It sounded like I was going through puberty. Oh, yeah. We also have a gift card coming from Lucky Monk. And then I don't know if you've ever heard, and it's funny because we were talking about colors and dressing, but years back I did a color consultation and they go off your skin tone, your hair color, your eye color, and they tell you what shades of makeup to wear and what colors you should be wearing when you dress to really exuberate your natural colors and beauty. She can't be there that day because she'll be on vacation, but she is going to be raffling off a free consultation, a color consultation. And if you've never done it, it's amazing.
That's so cool. Whoever wins it, invite me to come with you. I'm so excited. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah. And it like once you see the colors and you actually implement and take them like out of your closet and put them on and wear another color that's not in your color wheel, you can completely see a difference on how it drowns you out. Oh. And how the other one makes you feel alive.
Ooh, I love that. That's so cool. There's definite colors that when I wear them, A, I feel better, but then B, there's colors that when I wear them, I get more compliments. So those are the colors I gravitate toward. And lucky me, it happens to be my favorite colors. But I wonder if like realistically, if I'm going to go to this girl and she's going to tell me and I'm just going to be surprised and then watch my whole life change when I start wearing the colors that she tells me I should be wearing.
Well, it's also good for people who are very comfortable and they only wear black or they only wear brown or they only wear blue because that's their comfort.
It must be so easy to shop if you're the type that only likes black.
Don't you know a bunch of people like that? I know so many people that's all in their wardrobe is just black.
No, because when I wear black, I see every fuzzy. I hate it.
Right. But they say black is slimming. So it's an easy default. No,
black just it reminds me of funerals. When I see black, I'm like, oh, that's what I wore to my aunt's funeral. That's what I wore. I was cleaning my closet the other day. I'm like, oh, am I keeping this? I guess so. It's my funeral, garb at this point.
That's how I feel about pastels. I just think I'm going to baby showers or an Easter brunch.
I love pastel. I love Easter. I love dressing the boys for it. I'm like, you guys get to wear light pink and purples, and I just love it.
I would go with more like a khaki. If I was a boy?
No, like I have this really cute Ralph Lauren button-up. I think it was a hand-me-down from Chrissy.
Okay, so I'm thinking, like a button-up shirt. I was thinking a little suit in like a pale pink or a blue.
No, you could do a pale blue.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh my God. I love that. No. I really should have dressed my kids up as Dumb and Dumber when I only had 2 boys. That would have been hilarious.
Where you can dress up the dog or the youngest is the shag van
or whatever it's called. The shaggy dog van. I don't know that it's called the shag van.
I don't know what it's called. That's all I see now. So
you're saying there's a chance.
Such a good movie. You should work on that. I'm sure you can find some suits like that at a thrift store.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But they are at the age where they don't want to dress. I can't. I tried so hard to get our family costume this year, and nothing that I was saying was exciting them. So if they're not excited, I was like, all right, guys, I guess go do your own thing. I don't even know what they were. Theo was like a skeleton king. I only got me, Mike, and Joseph on board. Oh. And that was just because I just went along with what Joseph wanted. So anyways, I'm not going to be able to do it.
It's okay. Halloween. Let them. Let them.
Fuck no. Not just kidding. Yes, of course.
Let your kids about them, not about you.
Is it though, or is it about my cute family costumes?
But is your cute family costumes making other people upset and making them do something they don't want to do, and they're just doing it to appease you and make you happy?
So that's why I have to be very particular because, of course, no, I need my kids to be so happy. It is their holiday, especially it's literally now Joseph's birthday. He's 4 and he was born on Halloween. Fun fact. But I need them to be happy. I just need me to also be happy. So how do I work it? How do I guess this is such a good life lesson too.
Yeah, let them let me.
Well, it's like, how do you work it so that you compromise? So that like I let go of what I wanted a little bit, they let go, and then somehow we come together because no, if they're not excited about what they're dressed as for Halloween, we're not doing it.
But wouldn't it just be enough that they're going to dress up how they want to dress up and they're still allowing you to be a part of the Halloween and the trick-or-treating and the photos? And
well, they're so young, they're not getting anywhere without me. They're very reliant. If they were teens, yeah, I'd be like, oh, they still want to be with me. But no, I mean, my kids.
No,
like
honestly,
11.
I mean, obviously, yes, they need you.
Yeah. No, they're obsessed with Mike and I. They're at that age still. Talk to me in 2 years when Theo's
They
not
might be
obsessed
good
with me.
actors.
No, they legit are obsessed with us. They're young.
They're young, but I think if they had a choice to go hang out with their friends.
Nope. They'd choose me. They'd choose me.
Okay, guys, this is what we call delusion. Delusion. Next time I see them alone, I'm going to ask them.
You should.
I will.
You will be so surprised that I am right. They want their friends with us. Mike more so than me. They're obsessed with Mike. They just love hanging out. But also, think back to when you were a kid. I didn't get as much solo time with my parents, probably, but my kids get like a lot of one-on-one time with us. There's only 3 of them, so that helps right there. But just between like sports and stuff. And I think it's really good for the kids to be around and to get attention, to be...
Oh, no, I'm definitely agreeing with that.
I think that's why my kids like to be with us, because they like have those doses. They're so comfortable with us. But who knows? Who really knows? You'll have to grill them. Theo was begging me yesterday, can I be on your podcast? He's like, can we do one today? He really wants to do it, so you should do it, and then slip that question in and see what he says.
That'll be like a little side thing. You guys really want to know what your kids are thinking? I will interview them. The no filter.
Yeah, I love it.
But you have to be prepared to hear the raw inner workings of your child.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm prepared. This morning, Joseph came out of his room. He opens his bedroom door at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, looks at me, and I thought he was going to run to me and sit in my lap and snuggle like he does most days. But no, today was a day. He did not high-five himself in the mirror today because he's in a mood. So he looks at me, slams his door shut. Then 10 minutes later, he comes back out, opens his door, and he goes, "You again?" Ugh. And then he walks in and shuts his door and walks back into his room. So,
are you okay? Are you okay?
You know what? For a minute there, I was like, am I going to cry right now? That was so mean. Like, whoever just looks at you and goes, "You again?" Ugh. A toddler does.
Maybe it was me jumping into his body, because I feel like
Are you sick of me?
Not you, but I feel like there's times where I'm like, oh, God, you again.
Love that. He's so unfiltered. He is so unfiltered. Like, kids do not care. Kids and old people. Do you ever have old people in your life that you're just like, why do you think it's okay to say that? They're so honest.
Because they have nothing left to lose.
Yeah, they're like, we don't have time. We don't have time to make you feel good about yourself.
They live their whole life caring what people think. And that's the biggest thing. And especially in that Let Them book, my love-hate relationship with this book, and Mel Robbins.
Who's reading it? Raise your hand. I'm still on page 1, by the way. Same as last week.
So by 2026, we can talk about this book in depth when Patti finally finishes it. But
listen, make a Google Sheets for me, okay?
I'll just let you borrow my book, and you can just read all the highlighted sections.
Oh, beautiful. It's on my Kindle.
Yeah,
so.
But that means you have to read it to highlight it.
Well, I think that I can say what are the most highlighted parts of this book.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm going to know everything about it, and you're going to be just like in awe of my Let Them knowledge. Okay, so you are loving it, hating it? What do you feel?
Hate it.
You love hate it.
And I love hate her. Just with the video you sent me the other day on Instagram about what did she say? Motivation is bullshit?
She says that motivation is bullshit because you don't always feel motivated. So she's saying that you have to take action before you're motivated. Right,
so that's like a duh, no shit. moment.
Even when she says it and she's in this podcast, and for some people, it's not a duh moment. For some people, you listen and you're like, yes, I love that. And I didn't think of it that way. So when she lays it out in the ways that she does.
It still didn't make sense to me. Because in honesty, raise your hands. Who wakes up every day and feels motivated? No one, right? You have to motivate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't motivate yourself, you're going to be useless. So theory to me just doesn't make sense. Like,
well, remember even last week when we were talking about work and how I was saying that at work, you know, I'd be happy and all this stuff. And you're like, well, no, you go to work because you have to. I think that it's much like that, where some people, they just go through their days and they're just doing what they feel that they have to, and they're never motivated. I mean, I think that that's why people always talk about when you're on your deathbed, what are you going to regret? So much. The wasted time, the wasted what ifs, the worries, the not taking the risk, all that. I mean, so much regret, I'm sure, for a lot of people because they're not motivated.
No, and I understand. And so part of the book talks about the two types of jealous, like when you're jealous of someone, there's either two lessons. One teaches you something and then one becomes torture. So if you're jealous about someone and it's torturing you and just making you angry and making you upset and just the slippery slope of just not making your life better.
Mm.
But then if you're jealous of someone and that turns into a teaching moment where you're like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. They've already led the way. Like, I don't have to recreate the wheel. What are they doing and why am I not doing it? And if it helps you become a better person, and that's where you can find your motivation, is through looking at other people that maybe have what you want or have things that you didn't think you can get and find out how they got there.
You know, I feel like when you explain that second version of her term of jealousy as a teaching moment, I think that that's not jealousy, right? That is turning your jealousy then into something else completely, which is that teaching moment, which I think that you have to not be bitter. I think a lot of people, when they see others with things that they want, they're bitter. They have that mindset of, oh, must be nice. And I hate hearing when people say that, oh, must be nice. And it's like, you know, there's work and there's a lot that goes behind the scenes a lot. And that's, I think, the premise of this whole podcast is when we talk about the things that you see and that highlight reel that, yes, you can be jealous of and this and that, but then go deeper and what's really happening. What's their day-to-day life look like? What are they doing? Are they high-fiving themselves when they wake up, right? Like, what are they doing? What are their small habits? Because if you're jealous of the end, right, of their like peak moment, well, watch them on that climb up.
They say you only see the finish line. You don't see what the people did to get to that finish line.
Because you wouldn't be jealous.
They make. Because she was saying, like, one of her friends was jealous of this other person, but she's like, but while you were out with your friends going to dinners and drinking every weekend, this person was working on their side project. This person was working at getting better at, you know, making their second job their career and doing all the things you need to do. It's not luck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, luck is involved in some things, but we are the owner of our destiny.
Mm-hmm.
We create. So if you want to be successful, if you want to be rich, there's ways to go and do it. There's people out there that have set the blueprint, and all you have to do is just even take 10% of what they do and implement it into your life, which I agree with a lot of her things on that aspect. And a lot of what she says is really taking a pause and taking 5 seconds, 10 seconds to really think about your feelings and then think about your reactions before you react.
Oh, God, I love that.
And I feel like I'm very proud of myself. And I usually won't boast about when I'm proud of myself or pat myself on the back, but I feel like I've come a long way in the last 6 to 8 months before I even read this book on taking a step back and understanding that that's your life. You can live it how you live it. I love you. I can love you from afar. I won't judge you. I will respect you. And you do you. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to do me. But when you doing you starts affecting me, then instead of voicing my opinion on it, I'm just going to take a step back.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that that's very hard to learn, right? I think that everybody it's almost human nature to think that everybody else's actions are a reflection of you almost. Like you feel like, oh, this person's doing this, this, and this, and it must be because of me. And like it's so hard to remove yourself from that and to get out of your own head and to just kind of allow it and to realize that it's not about you. I mean, we've talked about that mindset before, of how hard that is to realize that it's a them problem, it's not a you problem. And I think that this is really good for you. I think that the fact that you hate it, like going through therapy, you get to a point where you hate it because you're working on things that are so ingrained in you that are just second nature to you. And you're trying to change that habits or, the negative habits, the negative thoughts, the things that you do. And that's not easy. So if you were reading this book like, oh yeah, la di da, it's not resonating then with you, right? Like
right,
if
you want to have a reaction.
Yeah. And I also think that talking about jealousy of other people and that there's a blueprint out there of people that have succeeded. And if you take the time to learn, like one of my favorite quotes of all time ever is that if you don't learn history, history is just going to repeat itself. And now I am not a history buff, right? But I do love learning about just other people's lives and learning from them, learning from other people's mistakes, learning from other people's failures and successes and all of that. And then my other favorite thing that I've been kind of obsessed with this thought lately is it's not about competition. The people at the top are not competing. You don't see them competing. You see them collaborating. And when 2 or 3 or 10 really strong people can come together and say, we're going to do this together. Why do this alone? You teach me what you know. I teach you what I know. And we learn from each other. There's no jealousy. There's no competition. I mean, maybe a little competition because, right, that's so healthy. But I just think that's so important. And if we can start doing that more and realizing that, hey, I mean, I think we're at an age now where I don't look at the people next to me and think any sort of like jealousy or this or that. I look at the people next to me and say, what can I learn from them? And I think that's really important in work, but in my personal life, mom life, friend life. I mean, I'm constantly learning. And you'd think I would have thought that by now I would have had some stuff figured out, that nothing could faze me, that nothing could throw me for a loop. I was wrong.
Well, the one thing she does say in there too is she's like, this is all of our first time living life. It's our first time as a mom, as a wife, as a friend. We're going through these experiences. It's not like we've had something to learn from a past life. So we have to be kind to ourselves and let us know that it's okay to make mistakes. If your children are looking at you being like, you're an adult, you should know better, you shouldn't have to make mistakes. No, this is the first time I'm in this situation. And every day we learn something new, and we learn something new about ourselves. And again, she says too, the same thing I said, if you can just be a better person than you were yesterday, then you're doing okay.
I love that. See, this is so good. Okay, I'm on page 1 of this book. I can't wait to get to page 5. I can't imagine. No, I think I'm farther than page 1, but well, this is really exciting. So once we get through the book, we will continue this discussion.
Yeah, she has some, good points talking about friendship and how it changes over time, and it's due to, these 3 different reasons. But I feel like I really want you to read that so you can kind of dive deep with me on that.
Ooh, okay.
Because some of it I definitely agree with, and then some of I don't. And I found her in a contradiction kind of, because on one of her podcasts, she says, no response is a response. But then in this book, she's talking about forgiveness, because sometimes when people are not responding to you and being involved in your life, it might be because they're going through something in your life, a new career change, a new mom change, and you just got to let them do their thing. And then eventually someone can reach out later. So that's kind of my confusion with that contradiction.
I understand that. I take that as no response is a response, right? Because when somebody's going through a lot, they're not responding. And that is your telltale sign that they've got something going on. It's most of the time not going to be about you, right? And I think that we've learned that so much lately.
I guess, right. But if you think of it, I wasn't thinking of it that way, and you're right.
Well, that's why we do this, right? That's why we talk. That's why we want to connect and want to work through the hard stuff sometimes, the things that, is uncomfortable. So I could sit down all day and journal and write in my diary, and I might come to some really great conclusions on things, but that's just me in my own mind. The thought that we can go to therapy, that we can have really good friends, that we can have people in our lives to talk to about the things and that are invested, that care. Because I could go and I could talk and people are going to say, oh yeah, Patti, you're totally right. All this, yeah, that's great. You're right on you hit the nail on the head. Or I could have people that are really going to look at me and really try to help me and not just pat me on the back and say, yeah, keep going, keep doing X, Y, and Z. So that's literally, I feel like your and I's friendship always has been, well, what about this side? And not even in a devil's advocate way, but just in a way that's really true to either who you are or really true to who I am, to where we really care about each other and our families and our careers and all of that. So I hope that everybody listening, I hope that you appreciate the people in your life that are there like that for you, because that's going to get you to the next level always. That's going to be continuously pushing you forward when you have people that will look at you and help you think of things in a new way, a different way, because they care.
Exactly. I got a text last week. Someone that started to finally got around to listening to our podcast.
23 episodes later. Thanks a lot. Welcome to the show.
And it turns out it was that we were the first podcast they ever listened to as well. And she's like, I'm going to annoy you now because I'm just going to be texting you with like thoughts and ideas and just compliments and just stuff. And I'm like, come on, text, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. And she's like, God, I'm so jealous that you guys have that type of friendship and that you have that person that you see once a week and you can have like a real conversation with. She's like, that's just amazing to me.
Well, that's the best thing about when people ask me, well, how's the podcast going? Or I talk about it. My favorite thing that I say is that I have a scheduled time where I get to see one of my best friends who, it's not like you can go to therapy, but this is different, right? Because we talk about everything. I want to hear about your life too. It's not just about me. I mean, it's great. It is so nice. That's the number one thing that I love. If you can schedule time, even if it's just a 20-minute phone call, if you can schedule it and you hold yourself to it, Danielle's word of the year is consistency. Be consistent with a friend. See how it changes your life. We've been doing this weekly stuff since the beginning of September. And it has been a game changer for me. I think for, the way that I'm able to just sleep better at night. And also not even just you and I, but even just friends that listen, that message, that then it opens up a completely new dialogue.
Exactly.
And now you and I are constantly sending each other things more so than we used to,
right.
More meaningful things, because it's like, hey, I want you to hear this because I want to hear your take on it.
Right.
So like send your friends things like that. Hey, I'm struggling with this theory or this thought or this, little meme or video on social media. What do you think of this? What do you take away from this? Like if you can do that, because this doesn't just happen where we're comfortable enough with each other to grow with each other.
Right.
Like it was work. You have to show up. You have to be open. On the days when you don't want to talk, you have to talk. On the days that you don't want to listen, you have to listen. I mean, it's a give and take. And that's, I think, we like really value it, which is why we know to put into the work and show up.
We live in a busy culture. Like there was somebody that talked about it. It's like everyone's struggling and trying to win the award for who's the busiest. If you go back to your last 5 conversations with people and you be like, how are you? And they're like, oh, I'm so busy. Everyone says I'm so busy. We're all busy. We're all busy with life. We're all busy with trying to get ahead. We're all busy trying to love the people in our circle. But if you really think about it, you have 10 minutes a week. You have 15 minutes a week. And maybe you have 5 friends. Maybe you have 50 friends. Maybe you have 1 friend. Maybe you have no friends. I don't know. But there's a way to make yourself feel better. And there's a way to make the people in your life feel of value. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing when you go forward in anything is when you are surrounding yourself around people and they don't feel like they're a part of you or valued in your life, that they can be using their time wisely, maybe because they're not getting what they need from you. And they say that's okay. That means your friendship is taking the course, and it's okay. It's maybe not something you did. It's not they did. It just, you kind of grow apart. But if you do have those people in your life, maybe it's every Tuesday when you're driving home from work, you're both driving home at 5 o'clock, call each other, 15 minutes, check in, 7.5 minutes, you talk about yourself, 7.5 minutes, they talk about their self, and be done. And you go home and now you feel better because you were seen and you were heard.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we can talk all day long about what you want, but taking the steps to get there. So if you take away anything from this episode, high five yourself in the morning.
Hell yeah.
If you need to put a Post-it on your mirror, post it up. Takeaway number 2, go onto our social media and buy your ticket for Better with a Bestie, because we're going to have so much fun. Do something good for yourself. Commit to just a night with other people, like-minded people, people that don't think like you that you can learn from. Let's go buy the ticket. I'm serious, but also like, I'm kidding. Okay. Like, you do you. But another thing is, make the phone call, shoot out that text, send that reel that you saw, and ask your friend, how does this impact you? What does this mean to you? I want to kind of dive deeper into this. Let's chat about this, whatever it is,
Yeah, there's so many aha moments, like the good side of social media, when you are seeing therapists or celebrities or just random Joe Schmoes saying some insight. And it's like you have that wow moment, like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Or wow, they put that in such perspective. Or hell no, I don't agree with this. And when you hear someone else's opinion and you can talk about it, it can help you learn and grow.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about our high lows.
Oh no, we'll do that really quick and then I got to see you later.
Yes. Okay. What was your high of the past week?
My high of the past week, I have to say my
right now?
Vanity.
Oh,
my vanity is just, so my eyebrow girl used to be like 20 minutes from my house, and she moved to Crystal Lake. So she moved her studio to Algonquin. And I love her so much because I'm very anal retentive, obviously, about a lot of things, if you don't know this about me now. But my eyebrows, when I was younger, someone ripped off half of my eyebrow while I was getting waxed. So I have like scarred, and my eyebrows, I feel like, are part of my identity. So,
oh my God. No, stop. They're not. No, you're acting like who's that guy, David Levy or whatever? His eyebrows are his personality.
Yeah,
okay.
No, but like, I feel so much better and confident when I'm all put together. My eyebrows are done.
Got it. Okay.
So I finally had the time to drive out to Algonquin to go see her. So like, that was my high. Like, she did everything and I feel amazing and fresh and beautiful.
It's funny how much eyebrows impact your entire face, because it's something, they're so little, but they make such a big impact. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Bravo, Kelly.
Yeah, thank you. See, it's about the little things in life.
It really is about the little things in life.
And just the low. My low is, guys, I know I started out really well this year with talking about my goals and my vision board and all of my to-do list. I've sucked.
It's been a struggle.
It's been really cold, so I didn't want to get frostbite. So I have not done the cold plunge probably in 2 weeks now. My reading has fallen off, where I'm not reading at least 20 pages a day. I've just been so busy with trying to get ready for spring market and marketing for work that's been my full concentration. But again, that goes back to, I'm not prioritizing and staying consistent. I'm letting time's being stolen from me. But I feel like that's my low.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. Time management is one of the hardest things. And also, we're trying to put together this really big fundraising event in February. So the amount of work that you've done for that already, reaching out to people, seeing who in our communities want to be involved, that's a lot of time. So thank you. And, just kind of give yourself a little bit of, that's okay, right? That you haven't read your book, because who here has ever hosted a fundraiser, right? Like, it's a lot of work. So you're doing good. Don't let that be your low. You're doing good.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Of course. My high is that post my Disney cruise, I finally feel like I'm back in the swing of things. I've been back to work now. I'm a fitness instructor. Work is going so well. I'm like having renewed excitement for it. I think sometimes taking a break, whether it's a 3-day break or a week-long break in my case, it was so what the doctor ordered for 2025. I needed it. I needed to put things into perspective. I needed to come back refreshed and just a little bit more ready. So,
well, and I think maybe it should be that shout out you got in the blistering cold. People were still wanting to go to your class because they love your class so much that they were willing to freeze to get there, to go there, to see her, to do it.
I know, right? Yeah. Shout out Will and Bree.
Yeah.
That was our text. It was in the morning and they're like, we're still going. That's how much we love your class. It has been so cold. Get yourself to the gym anyways. Go move your body because
It warms you up.
exercise is just going to change your whole day. It does warm you up. You're literally going to be sweating after. So.
Yeah.
And my low is that we're still just battling with germs. It's never ending. I'm just ready. But also in that low of me being sick and everyone being sick, I was on TikTok and I found a rabbit hole of like natural remedies and all like, and then people, once I posted that I was making this Amish TikTok cough medicine, which I feel like has helped, people came out of the woodwork. So thank you for everybody who's hitting up my DMs and giving me their like little natural remedies for X, Y, and Z, all the things. It takes a village and it's amazing. Thank you so much for sending me your insights.
So if you guys didn't send it yet, hop on our socials and send us all your natural remedies because I'm always down for something good.
Yeah, please do. We love it. I also heard just before we sign off to put like oil, like whether it's Vaseline or coconut oil, in your nostrils before you leave the house because that's where most of the germs come in. So if you're going to,
I read that about going on an airplane. Do that before you go on an airplane.
Do that. I did that yesterday. My kids went to a play place and I was like, hey, real quick. My kids that are not sick went to a play
Thank
place.
you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, because I'm not, don't be one of those. If your kid is sick, just stay home. I know it's a struggle, but you'll get through it together. Listen to our podcast if you're home alone with sick kids, okay?
Yeah.
We're there for you. We commiserate with the illnesses.
Well, thanks guys again for listening and thanks for buying your ticket if you did. Thanks for signing up to be a vendor. Thanks for being a donator to our raffles. Yes, thank you. It didn't sound right in my head, but we appreciate you and we're going to keep being us so you can keep being you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.